everyone.
Nobody's talking about the Broncos for some reason.
Everyone's talking about the Broncos.
They not, bro.
Everyone is talking about the Broncos. They got Russell fucking Wilson.
Gentlemen, we are 2 weeks out from the NFL season. There's a lot to talk about, a lot happening. But I had a thought today, one thought where we briefly talked about it, but one thought that I do want to push, an agenda that I do want to push, and it's a dark horse. And my dark horse is exactly this. The dark horse of the year is the Philadelphia Eagles. And there are many, many reasons why, but it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't hate that take.
I don't hate it. We've talked about it.
I know you hate that.
Look at this smile.
It ain't even about that. What has Jalen Hurts proven?
It's not that Jalen Hurts has proven anything. It's that they have an incredible offensive line, and that I think that he is a quarterback that is just underappreciated and just is not getting the amount of love and respect that
you just said he hasn't proven anything, and then you go and you follow that up with he's underappreciated.
Yeah.
How can you be underappreciated if you?
I think he's a quarterback where if you can get him the right pieces around him, like a Devontae Smith last year.
He had that last year.
You got A.J. Brown now this year. You can kind of unlock him a little more and unleash him in the way that he was used to being used at Alabama. So I feel like this is a year where, like, if he doesn't prove something this year to us that he can be like a top half of the league quarterback, all right, then I'm out on him.
But that's fair. But I don't want a fringe quarterback that we need this year to prove like this is like the end or be all. I don't think a team can be a contender or a dark horse if your quarterback is in that position.
You most certainly can.
Yeah,
you most certainly can.
You definitely can.
I'm a 49er fan. You know that.
Say what you're going to say.
You know where I'm coming with this. The Dolphins are in that position.
Yes, they are.
With Tua. It's make or break.
It is.
And guess what?
Is it make or break for Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
Why?
I think so too.
Why? You're telling me if he shits the bed this year?
With the pieces he has around him this year, if he doesn't perform, it's time to think about another quarterback.
The one thing I will agree is obviously them going after Russell Wilson. So clearly the front office and Jeffrey Lurie, right? Jeffrey Lurie? Lurie?
Man.
Bro, I'm not a
Jeff,
GM head.
Jeff. Call him Jeff.
Jeff. Clearly Jeff went after Russell Wilson. So look, I get it. Maybe there's an upgrade. Russell Wilson is always going to be an upgrade over Jalen Hurts. Of course. Here's the number one reason that the Eagles can be a dark horse. You have the best offensive line in the NFL. You go out and add A.J. Brown.
Best? 100%?
I'll give him that.
I would say the best.
They're definitely top five.
I would say the best. You go out and get A.J. Brown. Look what Stephon Diggs for Josh Allen, right? Look what that did for that.
It's going to open up Devontae Smith's game.
Opens up Devontae Smith. You go out and add James Bradbury as well to Darius Slay. Defense is a very underappreciated defense. Now, I don't think Nick Sirianni's a good coach per se, but we're talking about dark horses. They're over-under wins, 9.5. Would I take the over? Yes, because I believe that the Cowboys are getting worse and the Philadelphia Eagles are soaring.
The one reservation I do have with the Eagles besides Jalen Hurts, because we don't really know what's there, is the front seven. I don't know, because football, the game is won and lost at the line of scrimmage in the trenches, and I don't think that front seven's really got much.
Fletcher Cox has been their leader for years, and it's just.
But he's getting older every year, man.
He's still producing.
He was productive last year too. He's been productive. But
Andrew Whitworth with the Rams just won a Super Bowl. Plays up until he's like 42.
But there's one guy in the front seven, right? No one else there really scares me.
Let me tell you something about the Eagles. And I've been watching the Eagles my whole life as a Cowboy fan, okay? Let me tell you something about the Eagles.
You about to go in right now?
Let me tell you something about the Eagles. They always win the offseason, and they always have great pieces.
When else have they won the offseason?
So many years.
When?
During the 2010s. They added Nandi Asamoah one year, and they added
the Nandi Asamoah experiment was horrible.
That's my point. Every year, bro, they add all these guys, and it's like, bro, the Eagles. Man, I wish I had some names off the top of my head, like receivers and corners. They always add these like splashy positions.
Alshon.
T.O. worked for 1 year.
But they won a Super Bowl.
Alshon.
But they won the Super Bowl.
That's fine with Big Dick Nick. But
Carson got them there. The quarterback that you ate the most.
MVP-type season.
MVP-like season.
Where I will give you respect is the offensive line. The trenches is where you win, right? But this is where they always add a bunch of splashes at receiver and corner. Those positions don't necessarily win you games, or they win you games, but they're not going to win you a playoff game, bro.
No, corners
will win you a
playoff
game. What did Jamar Chase just do for the Cincinnati Bengals?
What did Cooper Kupp, who's the Super Bowl MVP this year?
But you can win a Super Bowl MVP. Julian Edelman was the best player on the Patriots when he won Super Bowl MVP.
And he was a game changer that year. He was a star that year.
Come on, man.
He was a game changer that year, bro.
Receivers will always just be the icing on top. It doesn't. I'm not scared of you.
And there's a difference between Betty Crocker
You're not scared of
A.J.
Brown?
He's a good receiver.
That guy could, at his peak
I'm
when he's
not-
healthy could be a top
bro.
5 receiver in the NFL.
I'm more scared of facing a team with Aaron Rodgers and no receivers than I am of facing a team with a suspect quarterback and 2 good receivers. Now, I love Devontae Smith. I have him in my Dynasty Fantasy League. I'm excited for him this year. I think he's going to do his thing. But, man, I'm
and
not,
he's
I'm
the
not
number 2, so you don't
scared.
like A.J. Brown?
I know you're not scared, but you're a Cowboys fan and you should be scared because you're not going to win the division because of that. The way the pieces that are coming together in Philadelphia, the way the offensive line is, their odds, I think, what? Can we get a fact check? Plus 2,200 or something to win the Super Bowl? Now, I'm not taking them to win the Super Bowl, but you add the pieces and you get a star-studded wide receiver to a quarterback that's struggling, you find success. We've seen it in the past. And look what it did for Josh Allen. Now, again, I don't think Nick Sirianni's that good, but I think the offensive line speaks for itself. You go out and add another cornerback, arguably top 5 cornerback duo in the entire NFL, and now we could see the fruits of what Jalen Hurts' labor is capable of. And that's why. And also, you said the icing on the cake. Sorry, one last thing. But there's a difference between Betty Crocker and Funfetti. And Funfetti icing is far better than Betty Crocker. And A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith is Funfetti icing right now for me.
This guy gets offended because his team went out and added
Tyreek
confetti,
Hill.
added confetti, added icing on a cake.
Do you know how often I probably eat Funfetti icing too?
I don't even know what confetti
Never.
icing. I don't even know what that is, bro.
Shitty.
I don't even know what that is, bro. It's been a while. It's been a while. But with
Bro, when was
cookies,
the last time you ate anything processed?
all right, so let me ask you: if the Philadelphia Eagles are not the dark horse of the year, then who is?
49ers.
How can they be a dark horse if they're one play away from going to the
Because
Super Bowl?
I don't think anyone, when they're talking about like the teams that can contend for the Super Bowl this year, I haven't heard one person bring up the San
I'll
Francisco
give you that.
49ers.
I'll give you that, bro. Nobody believes in the quarterback situation, and that's why they can be a dark horse.
You know who believes in that quarterback situation?
Kyle Shanahan.
Is the coaching and the GM. The front office and the
Well-
coaching of the San Francisco 49ers thought, hey, we got this guy, Jimmy Garoppolo, who's brought us to a Super Bowl within a couple minutes of winning
come
one.
on, no,
He brought us to an NFC
He didn't
chip.
bring y'all to no Super Bowl. Y'all got to a Super Bowl with him, but he didn't bring you.
He was the quarterback of the team, right?
Sure.
Last year, he was a play away from making the Super Bowl again and probably beating the Bengals. I think whoever won the NFC Championship is going to win the Super Bowl last year. And now you're saying Jimmy G is still on the team. He's still very capable. He was playing a little hurt last year, but he's still very capable quarterback. He's not going to lose you games. He won't win you some. Yeah. If you look at the coaching staff and you look at the front office, they all have seen Trey Lance. We don't know what Trey Lance brings, but those guys have watched that guy for a year and a half now, and they know what he brings to the table. And they know that he gives the 49ers a better chance to win every single Sunday than Jimmy Garoppolo. And so if you're telling me
Or he
that
costs
he's better,
less. Or he costs a lot less.
but
There were
they're
rumors way before that they didn't know if he was capable of starting.
They're
that.
very full planning on going into the season with Jimmy Garoppolo at this point. So I don't think it matters. They're still going to start Trey Lance.
They already had
because they know that he gives them a better chance to win. And so if you're telling me there's a better chance to win with this quarterback, with a coaching staff that I think is one of the smartest in the entire league, I think that I don't see why they can't contend for a Super Bowl. If Trey Lance plays above average football, the Niners will win the Super Bowl this year. Book it right now.
Also, here's the thing with the Niners is that they have such a functional team. They're so strong. So the foundation is so strong.
Very disciplined.
Right? You can go every direction with it. But they have a really high floor because of that. And we've seen them have success with a quarterback that isn't going to take them over the top. He's good. He's not great. He's good. So you have the capability to put a guy out there that's more of a gunslinger, that's more of a higher ceiling. If he performs bad,
Definitely
the rest of your team
definitely a lower floor than Jimmy. I'm not going to argue that.
Right. But if he does, let's say, botch a game, Jimmy G won't botch a game for you probably. No. But if
no, he won't. He won't.
There were a lot of
49ers games watched last year.
Not a lot, but there's definitely a lot of throws that he would miss that he would love to take back.
He's not losing you a
He's
game.
not
Carson Wentz lost
He's also not going to win you a
last
game.
year and
But here's the thing: is Jimmy G won't even make those crucial mistakes to lose you the game, as we said. Trey Lance could make those mistakes in the process of getting better, but the team that he has around him is so good that it can make up for it. Okay? So I think as the Niners coaching staff, you would rather put Trey Lance out there and get a higher ceiling potentially, right? I don't want to make Chiefs Patrick Mahomes comparisons, but they were in a similar situation with Alex Smith. They were in a similar situation with Alex Smith.
I've been making this point.
The Chiefs went to the playoffs with Alex Smith. They were nice. When you put Patrick Mahomes back there, you're sacrificing a higher floor. You're going to have a lower floor because Mahomes might make some mistakes as a second-year player. He might make some mistakes. But the ceiling is tremendous, and we saw how that worked out for them.
I was trying to make this point to you guys a few weeks ago where it's a comparable situation at the start. At this point of the season, like right before the season starts, when Patrick Mahomes is about to start, you don't know what he's going to bring. He goes out and balls the fuck out. He sits behind this game-managing quarterback, smart quarterback, been in the league for a while, won a few playoff games, whatever, and then comes in, takes over, and balls out.
To be fair,
you could see the same thing here with Trey Lance coming in for Jimmy G as Mahomes did for Alex Smith.
Trey Lance is in a better situation than Patrick Mahomes was.
All right, so, we're going to stay in the West, but we're going to flip it to the AFC West, okay? Now, the reason this team is a dark horse.
Where this is going.
The reason this team is a dark horse. Now, let me give my beautifully eloquent intro right here, right? Because the reason this team is a dark horse is because everybody's talking about the Chargers. Nobody's talking about the Broncos for some reason.
Everyone's talking about the Broncos.
They not, bro.
Everyone is talking about the Broncos. They got Russell fucking Wilson.
They talked about it for a week, and then they swept it under the rug because the Chargers made all these free agent acquisitions. The Chiefs went out and drafted Sky Moore, and Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, and the Raiders are winning the offseason, apparently. Like, the thing is that the Broncos, yes, they got the hype because of Russell Wilson. They got the hype because of the players they got and the team they already had, which was pretty good. Because of the hype overall with that division, they're kind of underrated a little bit.
I disagree.
And I'll take them as a dark
The
horse.
floor of that entire division is so goddamn
10-7.
high. Every single person is talking about what the Broncos could do, what the Chargers could potentially do, what the Raiders could potentially do, even though they added talent and they could still suck. Like, the floor is a 10-win season.
I'm hearing way too much about these others. I'm hearing way too much about the Chargers. I don't want to hear about the Chargers, bro. They haven't made the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year.
Brandon Staley is not the coach to get it done.
Is Nathaniel Hackett, up until this morning, you didn't even know who the head coach was of the Denver Broncos?
Hey, man,
Yeah,
all
I
I heard...
I'm not supporting the
It's
Broncos.
his fucking dark horse, and he doesn't even know who the horse is.
Well, I love horses. Is Hackett the one that was with Rodgers? Is that who we were talking about?
back-to-back MVP.
All right, so back-to-back MVPs. You gave me this information, my friend. Back-to-back MVPs with Aaron Rodgers, and now he has Russell Wilson at his disposal, bro. Russell Wilson has never won an MVP, right? Not even a fucking Super Bowl MVP. Now, a lot of that's up for debate. He could have, but this year might be the year.
I wonder what's the over/under? You over there? Do you have over/under for? Can you double check over/under for the Broncos? I'm curious.
It's 10.5, I believe.
I'm kind of curious.
10.5.
9.5. Okay. See, I'm gonna take the over.
I think about 10-7.
Yeah, 10-7.
There's something about all those pieces around him that are so unproven that I just can't buy into the Broncos.
Disagree. Cortland Sutton before
Cortland
last year.
Sutton is very good. He's very good.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Does the talent that you saw at Alabama just completely go away?
No, it was, dude. Jerry Judy was one of my favorite receivers to watch in recent memory in college. He was awesome. But there's also other receivers in college that we've seen that stunk in the NFL. Justin Blackmon, Michael Crabtree.
You love the Justin Blackmon.
Maybe Jerry Judy just isn't good.
Or maybe he actually didn't have a fucking with Drew quarterback.
And Kendall Hinton. Dude was playing with a receiver at quarterback. Receiver throwing a receiver that don't work unless you're playing NFL Street 3, bro. Come on, man. I used to play that shit too with Chad Ochocinco on the cover. That shit was fire, bro. I put like Brian Westbrook at quarterback and that dude.
When Jerry Judy doesn't break 1,000 yards this year, y'all come talk to me.
You got a JJ tattoo on you. If he breaks 1,000 yards?
Yeah, I'll get one on my ass.
You're that confident?
Yeah.
Okay, if Jerry Judy breaks 1,000 yards this year, you'll get a Jerry Judy JJ tattoo on your ass.
On my butt cheek.
Give me some of the love too.
What if he doesn't though? What you gonna do?
Shit, you brought that
shit. No. I know you ain't getting tatted.
You got more tats than me though.
I only got 5. I already got an ass tat, so what's another one?
Yeah, you just put it on the other cheek. 3 great dark horses.
I think there's one more that I think we all might agree on. The Indianapolis Colts too.
Are they a dark horse?
Yeah,
I think they're a dark horse.
Again.
I don't think anyone's talking about an AFC South team.
New quarterback. We don't know. We don't know how the offense is gonna look, bro. Like with all these teams, like if it's a steady team that we see in the playoffs every year, like the Ravens, they're not a dark horse because we know they're gonna make the playoffs.
Okay, so the Colts, the Niners, the Eagles, and the Broncos. Who's your favorite dark horse? I would probably say the Colts.
I could say it.
The division's too tough in the AFC West. I'm taking the Colts.
Oh, and here's
that's
the thing with the Colts, bro. Like they were a good quarterback, smart quarterback away from making a pretty deep playoff run. I feel like last year.
Well, one game.
You have such a balanced offensive attack now with that running game with Jonathan Taylor, and then Matt Ryan comes in. Michael Pittman's going to be a dog this year.
I agree.
And then the defense too. You got DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard.
And
that
boy Darius Leonard's the best.
Who's that corner they got right now too? That's
Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore they just signed. Kenny Moore.
Yeah,
bro, that's
nasty.
That's 4 studs on defense.
Is Rock Ya-Sin still there? Or no, he went to the Raiders.
I think he left. But I think Matt Ryan, the same effect he had in Atlanta, he'll have in Indianapolis, and they're going to be good.
That's fair.
I mean, look at what Matt Ryan did to Roddy White for like a year or two.
Roddy
was that dude.
Roddy White's nice.
Roddy White
is that guy. He's him.
But I'm saying,